Hello and welcome to Today's Schools. In this week's exciting episode, we go to a fully operational television studio at St Mark's in Dingley, where they broadcast some terrific programs. We talk supercomputing with two students who attended an international conference in Seattle. We talk posture, find out why we should study history, kids flicks, Mr Gadget, and much, much more on Today's Schools.
My name is Adam and my name is Emily and we're your hosts for today's Kids News.
Here we are at St Mark's Primary School in Dingley, where students write, rehearse, interview and poll their fellow students for their very own television show called SMTV. The program goes to air throughout the school each week on Thursday mornings. Let's join the behind-the-scenes tour to find out how it all works.
To kick off the show, we'll head straight into our first feature story.
Hi, welcome to St Mark's. My name's Antonia.
And my name's Millie.
And we're going to take you through our St Mark's TV show.
Come on,
let's go.
Shh! We're actually filming something right now, but we'll still take you through and show you everything. This is our blue screen, which shows the background for every scene.
And this is a video camera where we video all the hosts so they can see their lines.
These are the lights to illuminate the background, so we have no shadows in the background.
And as you can see, the two hosts have a little earplug in the ear. That's so Mr Speranza can communicate with them from different rooms.
Hi guys!
Hey.
How's it going?
Hello. Good, thanks.
And what are you guys doing?
Practicing.
Oh, well, we'll let you get back to it.
Okay,
see ya.
This is our multimedia studio. This is Mr Speranza.
Hello, girls.
And this is our St Mark's Technology Captain, Philip.
And this is our technology helper, Ethan. So Philip, what does all this stuff do?
Well, this is the computer where we record Kids News and put it on the internet. This is our MP3 player where we put music for the background for Kids News. This is our main mixer where we control music here and video, as you can see. This is our sound mixer, or main one, which we control over there, the microphones. And
So Ethan, what do you do on this side?
I control the blue screen backdrop, which shows the picture behind the hosts. I also control the media, like feature stories and stuff, with this remote and the media player. And also we have this server here, which puts it's the intranet for the whole school to watch on the interactive whiteboards and TVs.
Hey, welcome to our first Kids News for 2012.
Ouch, Millie. Anyway, our name's Antonia and Millie and we're your hosts.
Kids News, we watch it every Thursday morning at 8:40, and the whole school gets to watch it, and parents can come in the morning if they want to watch it, if they want to.
And for the show, you have to include a quiz question, a poll question, 2 or 3 feature stories, and make sure that you include your email somewhere in the script, whether it's at the start or at the end.
And our feature stories are pre-recorded, but everything else is live by the hosts. Well, what I really like about doing a TV show is because, well, for one, there's lots of people watching, and you get to experience what it kind of be like on TV, and you get to work with technical stuff.
I like just making a TV show that everyone gets to watch, and I like doing all the music and sound effects for the TV show.
I like how you get to do the whole show pretty much by yourself with a little bit of help from Mr Speranza, because it shows responsibility and independence. Anyway, we've got to go.
And that's all we have time for today. 5-6 are taking a break next week, so we will see you back here in 2 weeks' time. Bye!
Did you know the first television broadcast in Australia took place on the 30th of September 1929 at the Menzies Hotel in Melbourne, using the electromechanical radiovision system. Mainstream professional television was launched on the 16th of September 1956 in Sydney. The new medium was introduced by Bruce Gyngell with the words, "Good evening and welcome to television."
These balls that we're playing with over here are called torque balls. To tell you about it, here's Mr. Gadget.
Hello, it's Gadget with Maths Ball. The idea is, wherever your hand lands, that's the question you have to answer. I've landed on 1 plus 5. The answer is 6. There's a whole lot of balls in the series. There's word games, maths games, and when you're finished with it, you just throw it on to the next person.
Stay tuned, because coming up after the break, we learn all about supercomputing on Today's Schools.
Hi, my name's Jo Klein. I'm a History Education Consultant for the History Teachers Association of Victoria. So history is a study of the past, in the present, for the future, which basically means that we need to look at the past in order to understand the progression of humanity and also to make better decisions for the future. There's a whole lot of reasons why you can study history. I always like to think about it as reading someone's personal diary. It's full of, secrets and gossips and decisions, incredible moments of realisations, and also some very embarrassing moments. With the new National History curriculum, there's just such a broad spectrum of the things that you can learn about and study and the skills you can pick up. On one hand, you're looking at really huge world movements like World War I and World War II, but you're also finding about small details about people, like, for example, why a woman not refusing to give up her seat on a bus actually managed to change world history. People are often surprised by the types of careers that you can actually get into from studying history. I mean, there's some very direct careers like working in a museum or an archive or being a history teacher or a history lecturer or even an author, but many professions actually rely on history skills, such as lawyers when they have to do a lot of research to look at previous cases, and many of the organisational skills that you pick up from history are very useful in even things like commerce or business or market analysis as well. History is just generally really exciting, and you can always expect the unexpected when you're studying history.
The students at the John Monash Science School have the opportunity to work with staff at Monash University, since they're all at the same location. The two students we're about to meet were selected by university staff to attend an international supercomputing conference held in Seattle in the USA. I'm sure they'll give us some insight into what supercomputing is, why they went to the conference, and what they brought back to share with their fellow students.
So firstly, I'd like to give a short definition of what a supercomputer really is. So the rule of thumb is that a supercomputer is generally defined as a computer that's 100 times faster and bigger than a normal computer. Supercomputing is about size, so most problems that are of interest to scientists cannot fit on the person's average PC, as it will exceed the few gigabytes of RAM that is available on the PC. It's also about speed, so a problem that might take a month to run on a person's laptop will take a very long time, and by the time that it's finished processing, the results may already be obsolete. So in order to have very fast results, we need supercomputers that will generate fast results.
So the main component of the supercomputing conference that we participated in was the education program, and it was a really interesting experience because it involved us learning about how computational science and high performance computing can be incorporated into an educational environment. The most significant aspect of that program was the computational thinking, which was run by Bob Panoff. And he taught us a lot about how simulation and agent-based modelling and representation of data can be incorporated into the different fields of science in order to allow for a different sort of interpretation and view of different data that will allow scientists to expand their field. So the other compartment of the conference that we participated in was the technical program.
Oh yes, so after the education program had finished, there were some other presentations by various members of companies. So people from companies such as DreamWorks or even Unishift and computational companies who make programs and hardware and software made presentations there. So it's mostly just a showcase of their work or their research in their fields.
So one of the main things that we learnt from the conference was how we can apply high performance computing into the field of science that we're interested in personally. So for example, I had intentions of going into biology, and now I've expanded that to incorporate computational science and high performance computing with biology in order to broaden the different research that I'm able to go into.
Oh, I think one of the best things that I experienced was being able to look into the different aspects of computational science within other fields of science. So I knew before I went there that it was fairly obvious that supercomputing and high performance computing was a very big thing within astronomy and astrophysics, but things such as biology, which are not usually associated with computers. And I found that really interesting that computers also play a really big role in biology, which I hadn't experienced before I went there. Yeah, so I just really liked looking at the different ways that things can be intertwined with technology nowadays.
Sore back from lugging books or slouching over your homework? Don't go away, because after the break, we talk posture here on Today's Schools.
So now that we've returned from the supercomputing conference, we'll be doing a presentation in front of the entire school, which will show them what we've brought back from our experience and how we're able to incorporate different aspects of what we actually gained from the conference into our education experience here at John Monash. Also, we have Dr. Bob Panoff, who ran, as I mentioned before, the computational thinking program, and he'll be presenting to the school at our assembly, and also we'll be spending, I believe, a week here where he will be getting involved in different science and computation courses that we have available here, and we'll be offering different ideas and different aspects to those courses and working closely with students and teachers.
We also picked up quite a few ideas from the conference, which we would like to integrate into our own curriculum in our school, as the subjects over here are an ever-evolving curriculum. So the first things that we've done, we've already implemented this, is at the conference we went to a lecture about developing the third world through technology and enhancing the standards of living through the use of computers and communication resources. And that was run by the UN. And so at school we have a subject called Issue Studies, which is basically a geography, history, humanities subject. And that information has been now incorporated into this subject, and the kids have now been given an assignment in which they are to research one country or developing country and research the role in technology to help the underprivileged to be brought up. We also met a lady at the conference whose project involves the use of mini clusters. So what a cluster is basically many computers working together in order to run a big project. So we want to set up these mini clusters in our own school with the resources we already have, which are PCs. She sent us a link to download a program which will allow the computers to work simultaneously together on one project. And that will help teach the students from subjects such as IT or emerging technologies to learn about the concepts of parallelism and working together as a cluster.
So the supercomputing experience was really unique, as out of 10,000 people, we were the only international high school students that attended, and we were really proud to be able to represent our school and also Australia in that aspect. And I guess it's an experience that not many people get, and it's like no other. It was amazing.
Hi David, and thanks for joining us today. Thank you. Let's talk posture. So what are the types of things that students should be aware of as far as posture goes?
So one of the big things I think are these massive school bags. They seem to get bigger every year, and rather than being evenly distributed across both shoulders, instead I see a lot of kids still slinging that bag over one shoulder, which leaves them a little bit lopsided. So that's definitely a big issue I've seen.
And what about the myth they should always strive to sit up straight?
Well, we think that it's always right, try it now Sue, it's always right to be up like that when we're working on the computer or on a laptop or on an iPad. Well, firstly, that's quite hard to achieve because we might be on some stairs, we might be on a couch, we might be on the train trying to use our laptop. So you can't always achieve that position easily. The other thing I'd say is that it's not always suitable when you're sitting for long periods of time. As you're sitting up like that now, right up like that, as though you were on a computer, how does it feel? Feel okay? Mm-hmm. Can you feel though that you're having to use a lot of energy to maintain that position?
Yeah, through here.
Compare that with being down backwards like that. How does that feel?
Much more relaxed.
You look much more comfortable. Mm-hmm. So that's actually okay to sit back like that, as long as you've set yourself up that you're not then reaching forward like this towards the laptop.
What kind of chair should we be considering for our classroom?
I'm happy to say, Sue, that things are getting a little bit better with this. I mean, I remember when I was a student, which is a while ago now, and we had those very basic chairs, and the instinct there as a kid was to lean forward, lifting up the back legs of those chairs. And I remember getting in trouble for that many times. But actually it's a very good instinct. If you're leaning forward, tilting the pelvis forward like that, as we looked at before, it's much easier to be upright. So kids have that instinct. But unfortunately it gets a bit drummed out of us sitting in a normal standard school chair. I'm happy to see that there's these new types of chairs, for example the Newton chair, which I've seen recently, which actually allows for that. It allows a little bit of resting back when we're just listening, but also allows the students to tilt forward onto that chair so that they're leaning more forward over the desk while they're doing their work. So I think those sorts of chairs are really lovely to see now on the market.
So David, what are the issues for students who are sitting for long periods of time?
Look, so even when we do sit in a nice position that's supportive for our back and our neck and our body in general, there are some bigger issues about sitting for long periods of time. We do know that if we're not doing a lot of exercise, we're sitting in a sedentary position for long periods of time, that our muscles get a little bit weaker. We're not stretching our spine as much as we could be, so we can get a little bit stiffer, a bit tighter. And this can lead to issues like back pain, neck pain, and other annoying issues like elbow pain and shoulder pain, or even headaches as well. The other thing that there's more evidence for lately is that actually even more general health issues like disease and getting unwell in general has been linked to people working or studying in sedentary positions for long periods of time. So as they say, Sue, we have to move it or lose it. It is important to mix up those long periods of sitting with lots of exercise, especially when you're young and your body's still developing and still growing. You should never sit, especially when you're young, you should never sit for longer than around 30 to 45 minutes. You should be standing up, doing lots of stretches.
Thanks, David, very much for joining us today and for talking posture.
Thanks, Sue.
Junior Gadget here, and I'm going to show you our latest gadget, Easy Response. I'll give you a demonstration. So which animal lives in the water? So if you think that it's the monkey that lives in the water, you would press the yellow octagon because it matches up to the icon on top of the monkey. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gadgets down, everybody. Time's up. So this is how my class responded. One person guessed the cheetah, one person guessed the baboon, and 2 people guessed the crocodile. Let's see how they went. Only 40% of you got the right response. We'll try again, see if you can do better. So which animal does not live on a farm? So, if you think it's the lamb that does not live on a farm, you would press the red star because that matches up to the icon on top. 3, 2, 1, and gadgets down, everybody. So 2 guessed the chicken, one of them guessed the lamb, and the other one guessed the hippo. Let's see how they did. Only 20% of you. Oh well. So, if you're looking for a gadget to get responses from your class, Easy Response is your gadget.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And now for a special treat, the Warrandyte Primary School Bush Band, complete with bush instruments and accompanied by Kevin O'Mara, formerly from Paradiddle. Enjoy! And that's all we have time for. Next week, we'll bring you more of the exciting world that is today's schools.